So, another day, another book, and today we're gonna talk about The Like Switch by Jack Schafer, or Schafer, Schafer, however. He seems to be, according to this little Wikipedia thing there. And by the way, it is by Jack Schafer and Marvin Karlins. From a former FBI special agent specializing in behavior analysis and recruiting spies comes a handbook filled with his proven strategies on how to instantly read people and influence how they perceive you, probably. And I don't know, because this is the end of this little thingy thing. So, the little summary of all that, or primer if you want to call it. The link, by the way, to this thing is going to be in the description, also in the show notes. So please check it out if you want to check out their audio version of it. But yeah, his job was essentially getting people to like him. We are social creatures that strive to be with others and make friends. Dealing with people you don't know can be a challenging and even scary experience. Non-verbal cues and verbal prompts to get people to like you instantly. You must be willing to learn and master the techniques presented in this book. Simply apply to techniques as you would need and let the techniques do the work, so just relax. You must actually use this new knowledge in dealing with people in your everyday life. Knowledge without action is knowledge wasted. You must constantly practice what you learn. Yeah, and I think this is going to be one summary again where I highlight everything, because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a beautiful book, and it is also rated actually quite well. But yeah, Chapter 1, The Friendship Formula. The friendship formula consists of the 4 basic building blocks: frequency, duration, and intensity. People who share physical space are more likely to become attracted to one another even when no words are exchanged. The key is that it must take place in a non-threatening environment. Yeah, which makes sense. Intensity is how strongly you are able to satisfy other person's psychological or physical needs through the use of verbal and non-verbal behaviors. Duration has a unique quality in that the more time you spend with the person, the more influence they have over your thoughts and actions. A duration usually has an inverse relationship with frequency. The more frequent you see them, the less time you spend. The less we can see them, the more time we tend to spend with them. The combination of the elements of the friendship formula can also help identify the strength of a relationship between a couple. Establishing common ground is the fastest way to build rapport. Indeed, you can consciously or subconsciously send off foe or friend signals to others around you. The urban and call sends a clear, non-verbal signal to others that you are a foe, not a friend. It is a warning to stay away and don't screw with me. I see. This is commonly developed by people who live in rougher neighborhoods. Panhandlers are usually good at picking up friends' signals to filter out their targets. Your verbal and non-verbal communication sends signals to the people around you. Technological advances have stifled our development of emotional intelligence, apparently. Growing up, kids learn social skills from interacting on the playground with other kids. And social skills are incredibly important. If you're unable to just talk to people, you're fucking screwed. And I would argue that these people that are able to communicate well, behave well in that sense, not in the sense of behaving well, but in the sense of knowing what to do, quite, if you know what I'm referring to. Yeah, I don't know, I think it just really does make sense, quite. So yeah. Let's see. Chapter 2, Getting Noticed Before a Word is Spoken. Popular people in social settings tend to send out more friend signals to those around him or them. 3 critical and nonverbal cues: eyebrow flash, head tilt, and a real smile. Yeah, things that we maybe know about, especially the eyebrow flash. But yeah, prolonged eye contact between 2 people indicates intense emotion, whether in love or hostility. A long eyebrow flash will actually send a foe signal, or foe. It is F-O-E. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, actually, really, well, I actually don't know. A head tilt to the right or left is a non-threatening gesture. Yeah, because the thing, and especially it is interesting when a woman is doing it and you are a man and you are just trying to pick her up and stuff like that. The thing is, if you tilt your head, you're actually exposing a very, very sensitive area of your body. doing this can immediately fucking kill you if this other person decides to attack you. Which means that when you do this, you are comfortable around this other person. Because you wouldn't be doing this if you're not just comfortable with this person. Period. People who tilt their head when meeting other people are seen as more trustworthy and attractive. A smile is a powerful friend signal. Smiling faces are judged to be more attractive, more likable, and less dominant. A smile portrays confidence, happiness, and enthusiasm and acceptance. Genuine smiles are more symmetrical and timed differently than fake smiles. Well, yeah. Even though I do think that you really can fake smiles pretty well, by also engaging your eyes. Maybe I'm actually thinking about something funny, like you could be fucking doing that. Learning to produce a real smile at will, particularly when you don't feel in the mood to display it, takes practice. Yes, it really does, I would say. Making eye contact for longer than a second to someone you don't know can be perceived as threatening, because we are all fucking animals, and this is the same case for dogs as well, and probably some other animals. Friends who like each other, however, are permitted to gaze for longer periods of time. Indeed, if you know this person, it's probably fine. Pupil dilation expresses interest. Touching is powerful, subtle, but complex form of nonverbal communication. Yes, indeed, touching is powerful and can indicate quite a lot of things. Even the most fleeting touch can have a dramatic influence on our perceptions and relationships. A risk-free way to measure the strength of a new relationship is to accidentally touch or brush against the hand of your person of interest. I see. Yeah, I think it is actually a very good thing. If you notice that this person is kind of just, trying to get away from it, stuff like that, then yeah, I don't know. Indicate something, I guess. A risk-free way to measure the strength of... Oh, I've read that. Most people will tolerate an accidental touch, but they will unconsciously send nonverbal signals indicating the acceptance or rejection of the touch. Isoproxim, mirroring the behavior of another person, a nonverbal practice that can be used to make friendships development easier and more effective. I see, and by the way, also body posture, just because I'm just seeing it in my own behavior. In class, or new class, because I'm now just, I'm not studying, but I'm just getting an education in being a medic, quite. I don't know the real English word, to really be honest. And there's a guy sitting behind me, and I do sometimes talk to him. I do actually think that he's pretty nice, and I really consciously also tried to make friends in that space. I've also been able to do so, I think, to some degree. But yeah. The thing is, if you face a person, it means that you're giving them your attention. If you're like just doing it like this, you're talking them over your fucking shoulder, it does not indicate that you're just that of a nice person. Like, I don't know. You know what? You know what I mean? It is like, I actually don't want to talk to you, but you're just talking to me, so therefore I have to talk to you back. This is what I think about. But I don't know. I don't fucking know. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. The spotlight technique when a group of friends mirrors one person. Practice mirroring random people when you meet them to develop this additional tool of developing friendships. Yes, do that. It's good. Do that. People tend to lean towards people they like and distance themselves from people they don't like. Yes, also the case, because, I don't know, the more space there is in between you, the less threatened your life is, And if you lean forward and tilt your head and make yourself very vulnerable to attacks quite, then yeah, it just actually has to say something. Whispering is an intimate behavior and positive friend signal. I just have to check something because I'm a little bit... People tend to lean for... Whispering is an intimate behavior and positive friend signal. Not everyone can whisper in your ear with impunity. Yes, I don't like that in general. I don't like to be whispered in my fucking ear. Yeah. It's not something that I want to have. Period. It's not something that I want people to do to me. I don't know. It really depends. I mean, if it is my girlfriend and stuff like that, it is fine. It is good. But I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Well, anyway. When you see whispering taking place between two individuals, you can be relatively certain a close personal relationship exists. Yes. Food forking is a friend signal and indicates a close relationship between the person possessing the food and the person forking it. What is food forking? I see it like being... Yes, indeed. And I mean, I do want to point out like all the things that can happen. That, I don't know, I mean, if you're having a look at just a love relationship, between two people, and you notice certain behaviors, then, I mean, all these behaviors and all these ways of just do things, I guess, indicate a strong relationship and an intimate relationship. Food forking, whispering in one's ears, touching, what could it be as well? Tilting your head, leaning forward, being close to this person and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, have a look at just these people, I guess. People who like one another tends to display more expressive gestures. I see. Head nods can have various different cues towards the speaker. I'm just very sorry, but the thing is, I still have in my head from the other book, which was the mystery method, that the whole confidence thing, I feel like that consciously being confident is one of the greatest things there is. Like actually feeling like nobody can do you any fucking thing. Nobody. And nothing. It's a strong thing, and it is a cool thing. It is great. It is amazing. I don't know, maybe fucking practice that. Verbal nudges let the speaker know not only that you are listening, but also validating the speaker's message with verbal confirmation. Yes. Also, the nodding thing, yes, well, yeah, and stuff like that. I think it is very important, to really indicate that you're listening. Focused attention shows the speaker what they are saying is important to you. Yeah. Tips for higher tips. What? I see. Tip 1, female waitresses touching customers leads to higher tips. Who knows that? I think we all could have assumed that. Tip 2, wear something in your hair. Really? Introduce yourself by name. Create reciprocity. Repeat the customer's orders. Provide good service. Apply the golden rule of friendship. Make the customer feel good about themselves and they will like you. Yeah. Which I think just really makes sense, doesn't it? If a person just likes themselves and stuff. Yeah, anyway. And yeah, I do, by the way, think that I have to make an episode on confidence. Because I really have to say, if you feel like that nothing can fucking harm you, that nothing can fucking do anything to you, it is an amazing feeling. It's not just a realization of mine, it just makes sense. But of course, it is difficult to do that. And it is also difficult, at my point of view, to then not be arrogant. Feeling like you're the best person on this fucking planet, but still being empathetic and sympathetic and whatnot is cool and is important and is just, I think, also necessary as well. Yeah, period. Elevator eyes, looking someone up and down can be seen as an invasion of personal space. The funny thing is, you can use all those quote-unquote techniques techniques to make friends, but you could also just use them to really piss people off, I guess. Which, I don't know, I think... I don't know if you want to do that, but I think it's like, yeah. Cool. The police officer has the authority to look at you and into your car, but the opposite is not true for you. Which means the person that is having higher status is allowed to look at you in a certain way, but vice versa. You're probably also not going to do it, but it is also not acceptable. I don't think that this is not a metaphor. A big giveaway for undercover officers is when their body language shows they feel like they have the authority to gaze and look in forbidden spaces. I see. Rolling your eyes gives the signal that you think the speaker is stupid, a clear faux signal. Yeah, indeed. Squinting and furrowed eyebrows are other forms of negative signals. Indeed. Tense facial expressions and aggressive stances. Okay. Your environment and context will determine if your outfit will be interpreted as a threat or enemy signal. Yes, quite. If you don't pay attention to the details, it can expose you for who you are. This is true in dress attire as well. If you don't pay attention to the details, it can expose you. Indeed. A mask is a very powerful faux signal. Example of a dog reacting negatively to the dog lover who stares directly at it and approaches him, but react positively to the dog hater who ignores and doesn't look at him. One challenges the dog's personal space and the other one doesn't. Well, I do wanna. It is something that I've also seen in the other summary that I went through. It's actually a pretty cool book. Whether you are interested in picking up girls or not, but the thing is. And it is probably also something that you know about, like the person that shows less interest and the person that what should I say? The person that gives less of a fuck is the person that is in charge. Period. I would say so. I don't know. Man, I like these books. It is amazing. I just really love them. You know, I love being able to, I don't know, communicate consciously. I know. I think I gotta have to study something in that department, quite, you know. And I don't know. I mean, I have marketing on my mind, but I don't know if this is gonna be the case. Like, I really don't. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to, yeah, really difficult to say. But I don't know in which departments or in which ways I can use those things. Well, I can actually also, well, I would have to use them always, you know. When I'm in a certain position in a certain company where I have to deal with people and have to deal with, or I have to be in meetings and stuff, I don't know. It's always nice to be liked by people, and it's always nice to, to communicate consciously. But I don't know, maybe there is something. I mean, public relations. This, I think, would actually be quite interesting. I don't know. Let's see. Food signals in group circles can be very telling, as feet pointed towards the center show closed groups, and feet and body positions opened up shows perceived receptivity to new members. Confident people are more well-liked than people who aren't self-assured. Yeah, I would say so. There is a fine line between confidence and arrogance when displaying signals as a newcomer to a group. And I think it really boils down to being a friendly person. Like, if you go into a group and be like, you know, I don't know, like maybe starting off with the compliments and being like, wow, you know, it's amazing to just see people right now. And I don't know, like just something that's nice, and then just trying to be interesting or interested, but not in a too close way. Not like interrupting their discussion and being like, or being overly engaged, I would say as well. If they're discussing something and you just step by and be like, well, you know, have you just been talking about this and that? They are probably going to react like, yeah, okay, we have. It depends on the group, of course. If it is a closed group, I do not necessarily think that they're going to be that happy about you joining it. But I don't know, like, then being like, well, you know, I know a little bit about that, so I believe that it is this and that, but what do you think? And not being, as I said, overly engaged in the conversation, I guess, is a good thing if it is a closed group or closed group. Because I don't know, like it is their conversation, it's not yours. Fucking period. If you can't readily find common ground, you can default to music because everyone likes music, even if not the same music. When you see people again after meeting them, call them by their names, this means a lot to them. Conversational bridge backs reference to a previous conversation show that you're not a newcomer to the group. Be careful not to bask in the spotlight when sending out friend signals. The spotlight effect is when you try to force friend signals, but then they come off as awkward because you think they are, which then makes you seem unbelievable and inauthentic. And the last section of chapter 2 is interpreting nonverbal cues in couples. And that's quite it. It's once again an amazing book. I just love it so much. I just love it so much. It is insane. And I get a book. I'm now going to actually see if there's something that I can study in this department in this way. But I mean, I gotta have to say, like, marketing is really, really close to that space, to be honest. Like, I do not, well, actually presenting things in a way that leads people to thinking that it is a good thing. To some degree, like it really depends on what type of marketing that you're doing. But with the marketing and by using marketing, you really indeed can, at least in my point of view, just change a lot of things and do a lot of things. So it's an insane thing, and it's a really cool thing. And I don't know. I like communicating consciously, and I like to communicate things with what I'm doing. And I also like to be smart about these things, and just also something that I like is adding things that some people know but not everybody, like some insiders, quite, but yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end this absolutely beautiful book summary there for today. We're gonna go ahead with the chapter 3 and so on, but I have to, by the way, highlight it. It is amazing. It is just amazing. Maybe I'm actually gonna buy myself this book. There's so many great books on that, like it is insane. Anyway, but I never ever know which category this actually is, because, well, yeah, it's actually a PhD, Jack Schafer PhD. I wonder what he PhD'd in, and also Marvin Karlins. Well, anyway, I wish you the best health of happiness and all success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty cool thing. And yeah, 3 other questions that I'm having for you is, or are, what are you trying to change? What is bothering you the most? And I've forgotten the other one, I'm sorry. The last question is, what could you essentially say to another person that is indeed going to change their life and how they perceive the world around them and how happy they are and whatnot? And I actually kind of feel like going out now. So I'm going to do some stuff, going to hop outside very quickly because I don't want to die in here. I'm actually awake since 7 a.m., which is quite 4 hours, and I have been only sitting in here. I mean, I've been working out, but anyway. Yeah. Gonna see you the next time. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and bye-bye. Please stay healthy and safe.